morning, Vegas Sports Nation, and welcome to the Vegas Sports Scene. I'm your host, the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry. It's been a while. How are you guys doing? I haven't been on the Vegas Sports Scene the last few weeks. It's camping season. It's work's been picking up, so I've had a little bit of overtime. So I may be jumbling times around here a little bit to so I get more content out there. We have our boy, the mayor of Las Vegas, Vegas Rob, coming back very soon, so he'll be able to take over the reins when I cannot be here. I've missed a whole bunch since I've been last on here. We got the Vegas Golden Knights, winning the Stanley Cup, and WNBA, the Las Vegas Aces, coming out, with their hair on fire, which I guess isn't a good thing. But they're coming out hot, is what I'm trying to say. They're coming out hot. To start the WNBA season, lost the Oakland Athletics, taking steps forward to moving to Las Vegas. So a lot has happened since I've been gone. I'm going to hit some of it here. Before I get rolling here, just want to send a shout out to my older brother, Dorian. Happy birthday, brother. I hope you had a great day. It's been a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania, so hopefully you were out and about. And I know I had a softball tournament, so you had a birthday party for your son, and it's these tournaments. We're busy. That's all I know. Our boy Adam Glenn checking in. Adam Glenn says, "What's up? What's up, Adam? It looked like I seen some pictures of you today. It looked like you had a little bit of fun." So let's get it started here. We'll start it off on some somber news. I just about an hour or so ago, it broke on my phone. That Hall of Famer Bob Brown passed away. I don't know who Bob Brown is. To be 100% honest, he was an offensive lineman back in the 60s and 70s. Not somebody you're familiar with Gene Upshaw, Art Shell, Jim Otto, and all that stuff. But he was a Raider. Bob Brown was. He was drafted number 2 overall by Philly. He played in Philly from 64 to 68. The Rams from 69 to 70, and he finished his career up with the Raiders from 71 to 73. Started 124 out of a possible 126 games. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in 2004. The College Football Hall of Fame in 1993. So he's the real deal. This guy Bob Brown. I have to look more up about him. But John Madden called him the most aggressive offensive lineman that has ever played the game. So I mean that's coming out of John Madden's mouth. That is definitely something. But Bob Brown had a stroke back in April, I was reading, and just never really recovered from it. So we'd like to send our thoughts and condolences to Bob Brown and his family and the Raider Nation. Also Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. So big bummer to see something like that. Whenever legends pass away, it's always a bummer. It's always a reminder too that time moves on. Time waits for nobody. Every one of us, our clock is ticking. I hope I can live as long as he did. I believe he was 81 years old. So thoughts and prayers and our sincerest condolences to his family. There we go, Adam Glenn. A couple more comments. Adam, when are you going to tell your job you never worked a weekend? I had fun at Hexel. It was our company anniversary picnic today. I was not there because I was at a softball tournament. And and actually my last scheduled weekend to work, I actually did have to work. So we had work for it. It's kind of hit or miss right now, but things are starting to pick up in the aerospace industry, and which is very, very good. I like to see that. I like it when it's a little bit busy. You feel more comfortable. You feel more confident that one day you're not going to show up and the doors are going to be locked. So you never know. So we'll move on to the Golden Knights winning the Stanley Cup 4-1 over the Florida Panthers. I was not able to catch all the games. being away in Tennessee. And I'll tell you what, for whatever reason, that the cabin we were at did not have cable. So I couldn't figure out Roku. I couldn't figure out how, I got a 10 million news channels, a bunch of other stuff, but I could not find sports. I could find sports from 1979. I was watching a baseball game. It was, I think that was the Cincinnati Reds, and I want to say the Cubs from, I think it was like 78, 79 or something like that. I'm like, I don't know. That's the only sports I can get. Phone has spotty reception. I was able to catch a little bit of Mets, a little bit of the one hockey game, but that was about it. And so I missed a great deal of the Stanley Cup Finals, which is a bummer because I watched most of the playoffs, different teams and stuff like that. And as if you don't know, I am a Kings fan, but I also do root for the Vegas Golden Knights, which I know it doesn't sound right, but it is what it is. It's America. I can root for who I want to root for. I know they're in the same division. I know they go against each other. I know all this, but that's just the way it is. If you don't like it, well then, right there it is. So it was a bummer. I didn't get to see the finish to it. The crescendo, as it were. But I'm very, very happy for that, for the city of Las Vegas, for that team, the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'll tell you what, coming into the season, when Rob and I were talking about the Vegas Golden Knights, there wasn't a whole lot of hope or thought that they could make it run at the Stanley Cup, missing the playoffs last season. And coming into this season, top goalie, is out. Robin Leonard, is out and is going to miss the whole season with injury. And then he has a whole snake issue. Who's going to be the goalie? Or you have Logan Thompson, the rookie. He comes out awesome, on fire. Mark Stone gets hurt. Logan Thompson gets hurt right after the All-Stars. It's like who's next? Next man up. All right, we got Laurent Brossoit and Aiden Hill. Those guys step up and they're amazing. Oh, Brossoit gets hurt. Hill gets hurt. They trade for Jonathan Quick. He comes in. He does a decent job. He did better for the Vegas Golden Knights, I felt like, that he did for the Kings. And teams are built differently. That team might have been built. The Vegas Golden Knights might have been built more towards Jonathan Quick's skill set right now than what the Kings are. And but anyway, so it was always the next man up. And I'll tell you what, the guys that really filled in a lot, Logan Thompson was fantastic. Aiden Hill and Laurent Brossoit, during the regular season, absolutely amazing. I can't remember the dude they brought up for one game. I believe it was he had a really cool name. They brought him up for one game from the Silver, I think the Silver Knights or whatever they're called, and he did a heck of a job in his one game, and just filling in. They go into the playoffs, with Hill, Quick, and Brossoit. I think Brossoit started the playoffs off, and he gets hurt after a couple games, and Hill's in there. And Hill just was absolutely fantastic. Hill was amazing in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I thought for sure that Conn Smythe was going to go to him or Jack Eichel. I was thinking there was a lot of talk about Jack Eichel and stuff like that. He had a terrific playoffs. His goal scoring kind of dwindled down in the last two rounds of the playoffs, but still feeding an assist and still making plays where necessary. It's not all about the goals. It's assist, or you got your plus minus and stuff like that. Is your line scoring? Is your line not turning the puck over? And Jack Eichel, he had a heck of a playoffs also. And Jonathan Marchessault was your Conn Smythe Award winner, 25 points. So 13 goals, 12 assists. Good for him. He had a terrific season. There were so many injuries with this team throughout the regular season that there was no really eye-popping stats. I think, like I said, their captain Mark Stone goes out. I think it was December or January. He doesn't come back until I think it was either the end of the season or the beginning of the the playoffs. I can't remember for sure, but it was right around that time. So he's coming in rusty, pretty much. Monkey Colt, and so it's a hell of a dynamic they had going on this year in Sin City with the Golden Knights. And I'll tell you, another terrific thing for the city of Las Vegas is it's another homegrown team. This isn't a team that moved to the city of Las Vegas, not like the Raiders and potentially the Oakland Athletics. It's one of the teams that are homegrown that is actually theirs. There's no other history but there. Like the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA team that won the championship last year in WNBA and starting off great this year. And then you go into this, the Golden Knights, who are, pretty much since their I guess conception. I don't know if that's the right word or not. That's the word I'm going to go with. 6 years ago, they've been a perennial playoff team, making it to the Stanley Cup Finals their first season, then in the playoffs, missed for the first time last season. And like I said, coming in with all sorts of questions and stuff like that, with injuries and just, cap issues and stuff, and just doing what they're doing was absolutely fantastic. They're in a tight race with the Los Angeles Kings for a lot of the season, back and forth in the Pacific. And all of a sudden the Edmonton Oilers come out of nowhere, and those three teams, the Kings, the Oilers, and the Golden Knights, the second half of the season after the All-Star break, all three of those teams were fantastic, with the Kings kind of falling off near the end there before the playoffs. But, the Oilers really pushed the Golden Knights, which I think really helped the Golden Knights in the long run. The Golden Knights came out with the overall number one seed. They ended up playing the Oilers in the second round. And I'll tell you what, if I had $100, which I don't, if I had $100, to bet on one of these teams, I would have bet on the Edmonton Oilers. There's, so much talent, so much, star power on that team. But that's not what it's about in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I should know better because I've talked about it 100 times. You just don't know who's going to win in the Stanley Cup final, in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's one of the reasons why I like the Stanley Cup playoffs so much, because there's so many times you have an 8 knocking off a 1, or a team that has a bunch of I don't want to say no-namers or nobodies, because, these are a lot of names that you recognize, Marchessault, Eichel, Stone, Stevenson, guys like that, those are names that I've heard of before, but nobody really gave them a chance, begin from preseason throughout the whole season, nobody really gave them a chance, including myself. And, I'm sure some of the Las Vegas fans, I'm sure, there's some other podcasts I listen to, where, they weren't picking the Golden Knights to go all the way to the finals, but you know what I mean? It's, if you're honest with yourself, instead of going homer on it right away, think about it, there's a chance that, that they weren't the best team on the ice, but they come out on top, kudos to them. It's a great team sport. And that's an absolutely great team to come out on top the way they did. They won the first game 5-2, 7-2, and they're scoring goals left and right. And the goalie for Florida, no slouch. I think Barbarov, I think is his name. I think that's what it is. Barbarov. He had a terrific playoff run also. The Florida coming in as the 8th seed out of the East, beating the teams that they beat. Boston, you shitting me? It's Carolina. I believe they beat Carolina as well. It's insane when you think about it, what the gauntlet that Florida had to go through to get to the finals. But they ran into a buzzsaw in the Golden Knights. Game 3, the Florida came out on top 3-2. Then the Golden Knights came back out 3-2, and they were able to seal it off 9-3 in game 5 to win the series 4-1. Awesome, great job. I'm going to run through some comments here. Adam Glenn, the Phillies are hot. Nobody cares. Eileen says, Adam beat me to the first comment, didn't he? Oh, yeah, he beat you by 9 minutes. He was out there at 10:01, so he beat you by 8 minutes, Eileen. Out of the Box Sports Entertainment says, what's up, buddy? What's up, Out of the Box Sports Entertainment? And our boy Maiko Spencer with his birthday hangover. I'm going to burn my Senga jersey and get a Knights jersey. No, the Knights. So you're Oh, it's, I don't even want to. That's for Wednesday. I'm not even going to get into it. That's for Wednesday. Oh, I got a new Raiders hat. Anyway, I can't do it. The Mets. Maiko says Vegas sports are growing. Knights and Lady Aces should win back-to-back. Hockey playoffs had them. I'll tell you what, Maiko, I've said this 100 times on this show, leading up to the, even on my Batcave show when I was talking Los Angeles Kings hockey, NHL playoff hockey, Olympic hockey, and playoff hockey is so good. It's like the intensity is up a couple notches. It's unparalleled to anything else. It's just really, really good. And, this past season, this past Stanley Cup playoff, you've seen the upsets, you've seen dominance, you've seen, surprises, shocks. It's, a dude getting cut in the face with a freaking skate, man, and getting stitches and then coming back out. Yeah. He almost got like the Silence of the Lamb, where he puts the skin mask on. Hello, Clarice, stuff like that. That was pretty close to that. So, yeah, you don't get that in any other sport. There's the mayor of Las Vegas. Vegas Rob says, what's up, Ken? The Bat Fry Vegas Golden Knights, Stanley Cup champions. Go, Knights, go. We get the cup. I hope you're going to be at that parade, Rob. It could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because you just never know. You never know, free agency, injury. You just never know when your team's going to win it again. And, so I hope you get there, to the parade and you're able to sniff the cup a little bit or something. So just a couple of stats to throw out there. Like I said, Jack Eichel, 26 points through the Stanley Cup playoffs, 6 goals, 20 assists, fantastic. Marchessault, 13 goals, 12 assists with 25 points. Mark Stone had 11 goals. Like I said, it hurt most of the season. I think it was back in November, December, January, somewhere around there. I don't remember when it was. But their captain, gone for most of the season, comes back in the playoffs, 11 goals. He really, I think it was first or second game of the playoffs is when he actually scored, lit the lamp, so end up having a hat trick in the finals. And then in the final game to win the cup, the clincher. Fantastic. Stevenson had 10 goals. Carlson had 11 goals. Smith, he had a really good series as well. A really good playoff run. It was a terrific goal. I don't remember who passed it to him. Was it Stevenson? Passed it to Smith. Between his legs. Fantastic. You got to love hockey. Some of the stuff these guys do are absolutely insane. Like I said, I hate the Edmonton Oilers all you want, but watching Connor McDavid play, it's just such a different level. Him and Jerk-off Draisaitl. And that's the thing. I said it when the Golden Knights beat the Oilers. They beat them by shutting down Draisaitl. They didn't really shut down McDavid. McDavid still got his to a certain extent. But the last, I think, 2 or 3 games to win that series, they shut down Draisaitl. So it's, fantastic. Aiden Hill, 11-4 through the playoffs, 2.17 goals against, a .932 save percentage. Nuts. That is insane. .932 save percentage. I'm still surprised he didn't get the Conn Smythe. But again, terrific. Congratulations, Golden Knights. Way to go. Hopefully they're there again next year. Hopefully the Western Conference Finals come down to them. And, I guess it can't come down between them and the Kings. But if it's not going to be the Kings, I want it to be the Golden Knights. I want it to be the Kings, but if it's the Golden Knights, I'm fine with that. But I still want it to be the Kings. But if it's the Golden Knights, I'm fine with it. So it's a whole thing I got going on here, being torn. But we'll move on there. So like I said before, they have some goalie decisions to figure out here coming up in the offseason. Plus, some other contracts. But the goalies, it's a pretty big position. You want to be solid at goalie, and like they have their pick here. Like I said, Logan Thompson, was basically your rookie of the year. He could have been if he was able to finish out the season or at least get most of the season in. But halfway through the season, he was the absolute front runner. Then getting hurt, he made he tried to come back, but just couldn't. He couldn't make a go of it. He tried, went out there. I think he might have played a period or two. Re-injured that leg, and that was pretty much it for him, for Logan Thompson. And Robin Leonard, who knows what the hell's going on with that guy? Are they going to bring him back? They signed him to a couple-year deal, some decent money. Are they going to cut him loose, try to trade him? Are they going to, what are they going to do with Logan Thompson? Are they going to keep him? Are they going to look to trade him? Laurent Brossoit, who had a really good season while he was in before he got hurt near the end of the season, keep him, trade him. Aiden Hill, keep him, trade him. It's what are you going to do? It's good. It's a good problem to have, but you also don't want to pick the wrong one. If you go out there and you're like, all right, we're going to go with Brossoit and Logan Thompson. Well, Logan Thompson's hurt again. It comes to be that he's injury prone. All right, now you have Laurent Brossoit who played very, very well. But what if that was just an aberration? It's one of those deadly games to play. With any position, but especially with the goalie position, like I said, you want to be solid there. And I know my LA Kings would take one of those goalies off of their hands at any time. Even the guy that plays with a snake, we'll take him too. Rob Hefner says Vegas Rob says Robin Leonard has bigger problems. Yeah, he has all sorts of exotic animal problems going on now. So, but he's still an option. I don't know how viable. What the if he's recovered from his injury, and then we're just it's all legal litigation now with the whole Snake Gate. Slytherin, part of Slytherin house, or that's for the Harry Potter fans out there. Slytherin. I never really got into the Harry Potter's movies. My wife did. My oldest daughter, she kind of liked them. She thought the redheaded kid was cute, which doesn't make sense to me. As a redhead myself, it's they say gingers have no souls. I mean, do we? I don't know. Dogs can't look up either. So anyway, so that's all I got on the Golden Knights. Hopefully, look for the repeat. Step by step. Make the playoffs. Go from there. It's get a playoff spot. Go from there. And it's something I say in every sport. I don't care if my teams win the division. I want them to win the division. I want them to get a number one seed. But if they don't, it doesn't matter. Just make the tournament. Anything can happen. So. But we'll move on from there to a little bit of Raider talk here now. Josh Jacobs still has not signed his franchise tag. He has until July 17th, and he's put some comments out there that he's looking, to take a stand for the rest of the running backs in the league. Why does he have to be a martyr? Why, Josh Jacobs, do you have to be a martyr? A few months ago, you're like, I'll sign no matter what. If we're proving we're trying to win, are we proving to him that we're not trying to win? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's as bad as what he may think it is, but maybe he's just discouraged by some of the moves about Derek Carr moving on or something. Is Devontae Adams, is he in his ear? Are they both bummed? Are they both looking to get out? I don't know what the hell's going on, to be honest with you. If I'm the Raiders, if it feels like he's not going to sign, look to trade him. Get something for him. If he doesn't sign by July 17th, what the hell? I was just reading it. He can't sign with anybody else, and he also cannot work on a long-term contract until after the season. And he still has till November I think it was November 14th or something like that, to sign his franchise tag. If he doesn't sign it by then, that's week 10 of the season, then he cannot play during the 2023 season, where he would still get paid. I think it was $10.5 million, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. If you don't play, you shouldn't get paid. Unless I read that wrong. But if he doesn't sign by July 17th, he still can play for the Raiders, but they cannot work out a long-term deal. They can figure something out, like a short-term, like 1-year thing or whatever, or he could still sign his franchise tag by November, like I said, November 14th, whatever week 10 is. But then after that, his season's done. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, what direction the Raiders go in. Josh McDaniels said that he really likes Josh Jacobs. He was a workhorse. He had a great season. One of the best running backs in the league last year, if not the best in the league last year. Pay the man then. Pay him like he is. If he's one of the top running backs in the league, pay him like one of the top running backs in the league. I know it's an undervalued position, which it shouldn't be anymore. It's different if your running back is the bruising type that it's gets 30 carries for 115 yards or whatever. That's a grinding type running back. That's somebody that you really don't want to pay long term. But if you have a guy that's catching the ball out of the backfield, only getting the ball 15 to 20 times running, that's not a grinding type running back. He's still producing. That's somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of hits on him, big time hits. Pay him. I understand the risk. He's just an injury away from his career being shit, but it's not really somebody we can we can afford to lose offensively, unless the Raiders are sold on Zamir White. And, that's the other thing. We didn't see a whole lot of Zamir White last year. I think he only carried the ball maybe 10 or less times. Why wasn't he not getting the ball more? Give Josh a breather, give Zamir White a couple carries. It just wasn't to be last year. Amir Abdullah, he did well. Brandon Bolden didn't do a whole lot of anything. I think he got hurt early on, but that's where we're at with Josh Jacobs. And if they're not going to sign him, trade him. Trade him while you can get something for him. There was a trade scenario out there. So I think it was just a mock trade or whatever. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But somebody had out there trading Josh Jacobs to the LA Rams for a second-round pick. He could fit for the Rams. They could restructure Aaron Donald's deal and make the salary fit for Josh Jacobs. But I know Josh Jacobs has a bunch of friends on Philly, in Philly. My mouth is dry. I did a lot of talking today at the softball tournament, and I just cannot get enough. And I'm tired. I am beat. It's been a long day. So that's where we are with Josh Jacobs. I have mentioned on the Twitter box about why not look to trade him to Arizona for Budda Baker. Why not? We need defensive help. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. Why not? But we have to be sold on Zamir White. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't seem like they are. Granted, he is a fourth-round pick, and when he did carry the ball last year, like I said, it was only a handful of times. He did look good. But, yeah, that's where we're at with Josh Jacobs. Adam Glenn says, let the rebuild begin. No. We've been rebuilding for 30 years almost. Driving me insane. It's been 20 years. Not even rebuilding for 20 years. We still had the same team in 2003 that lost the Super Bowl in 2002, but it was a bad year after that Super Bowl. It's been bad ever since, and bad every year. We'll move on from that. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me. So the Raiders signed all 9 of their draft picks. That's good news. We don't have that headache. They're just coming out of mini camp or whatever you want to call it. I think that ended June 15th. And everything looked good. I heard a lot of good stuff about Aiden O'Connell from a couple different reporters on the interwebs, and saying that he's really really throwing the ball nice, better than expected. So that's good. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see what Michael Mayer can do. I'm excited to see him get out there and catch some passes from a hobbled Jimmy G out there, probably even with a crutch. Jimmy G. Anyway, that's another one. Jimmy G out there all hobbled. I haven't been on since that came out, where his contract could be voided if he's hurt for the season or whatever. It's like what the hell's going on here? He failed his medical exam and stuff like that, because of his ankle, and it was something that wasn't reported by San Francisco doctors or something. I don't know what the hell it was, but it's really, really frustrating as a Raider fan. It's like nothing ever goes right. It's like, getting kicked in the balls by a donkey, 1 or 2 times, and you're like, all right, this time he's not going to kick me in the balls, and walking up behind him and expecting him not to kick you in the balls, only to get kicked in the goddamn balls again. That's what being a Raider fan is like. Getting kicked in the goddamn balls by a donkey all the time. Oh, man. As long as he stays as fine as he is, he can do what he wants as a non-Raider fan. And Eileen's a non-Raider fan. She's a Jets fan. So Eileen, here you go. CM Punk or Jimmy G? The bad boy, straight edge superstar, CM Punk, or the pretty boy, the playboy, Jimmy G? There you go, Eileen. Ponder that one for a while. They'll be in your dreams tonight. CM Punk will be given GTSs, and Jimmy G will be given winks. Jimmy G went. So that's all I got in the Raiders draft picks. Just shooting out there that they were all signed now. Like I said, I'm very excited to see Michael Mayer. See what see what he got to offer. Huge draft pick. I think he was our biggest draft pick overall. Getting him in the second round like we did. Fantastic. So we'll move on away from the Raiders. Not a whole lot of Raider news right now besides Josh Jacobs trying to break our hearts. The Las Vegas Aces, the old Lady Aces, defending WNBA champions, Lady Aces. Starting off the season so far really, really well, 9-1. Only blemish on their record coming to the Connecticut Suns, which is kind of funny because they beat the Suns and then they play them again the next game. I think it was maybe a day or a few days later, and the Suns actually spanked them pretty good. Who was it? I have it written down here. DeWanna Bonner for the Suns. A stellar performance in that second game where the Suns were able to knock Vegas out of the rankings of the unbeaten there. She came out with 41 points in that game, which is fantastic. Good for her. But so far, Vegas has been pretty much unsniffable. Nobody's really touched them. Kelsey Plum, 15.4 points per game. She has a slash line of 15.4 / 2 assists, 4 boards. Fantastic. Or 2 boards, 4 assists, I think it is. Jackie Young leading all scorers, 20.5 points per game. Aja Wilson right behind her, 18. I think she's at 19. Was it 19.4 or something like that? She's just right behind her. Points per game, but she's also leading the team in boards per game, 8.6. So she's almost averaging a double-double there. So the Las Vegas Aces starting off strong, starting off hot, looking to defend that title. A lot of turmoil in the offseason. Looks like they just kind of shoved that off to the side. Good for them. At least Mark Davis can have one winner and not have their hearts ripped out every goddamn year. So we'll move on to the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's fans, the reverse boycott. So they staged boycotts throughout the season so far. The Oakland A's fans, we're not going to games. They were protesting outside stadiums, stuff like that. Well, guess what? Them not going to the games, it's the same as last season. Nobody went to the goddamn games last year. Nobody went to the games earlier in the season. So them not going to the games wasn't a big deal. That's what's been happening. That's what the owner wants. So you can kind of say, look, there's no interest here. Let's move. So the Oakland A's fans hold a reverse boycott where they fill the stadium up and they are pleading with the owner to sell the team in hopes of that another owner comes in, is able to work out a stadium deal with Oakland and not move to Las Vegas. Well, they did it. They packed the stadium. I'm not sure who it was against. Was it against Philly or no? It doesn't matter who it was against. Maybe Houston or somebody like that. I don't remember who it was. But they did pack the stadium. A bunch of signs saying sell, sell, sell. The place was electric. It was. I don't remember the exact score of the game, but I think it was a pretty exciting game. I remember watching the highlights of it. The place was packed, and the next game nobody was there again. Crickets. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't blame them for not going to the game. I get it. Losing your team, losing another team in Oakland, that sucks for them. Especially the way the Oakland A's have left. They left, shit in the bed on purpose. Pretty much that's how it feels anyway. Kind of tanking, just so they can leave. And for them to leave on these terms, it's a bit of a bummer. And I know the Oakland mayor has said that Major League Baseball has lied, saying that there was a deal being worked out that has been proposed that would be beneficial to both parties, the Athletics ownership and as well as the city of Oakland. Whereas Major League Baseball says there hasn't been any sort of deal. So believe whoever you want to believe. I think the city leadership in Oakland shit the bed. They let the fans down in Oakland time and time again with either the Golden State Warriors, the Oakland Raiders, or now the Oakland A's. Each time, and the A's kind of did the Raiders in as well. They were looking at possibly not a joint stadium, but a joint project where they'd all be in the same area. But the A's didn't want to do that. They wanted their own thing and away from the Raiders. And, here we are now. They're coming in. And I know Bryce Harper isn't too happy as a Las Vegas native. I shouldn't say not too happy. That's kind of putting it a little bit dramatic. But Bryce Harper has come out saying that he doesn't think the Oakland Athletics should move to Las Vegas. He feels like Las Vegas, if they were to get a Major League Baseball team, it should be an expansion team. But Major League Baseball has said that there are not going to be any expansion teams until Oakland gets a new stadium, as well as Tampa Bay, another team that cannot get any sort of attendance due to their location pretty much. From everything I understand, the Tampa Bay Rays are not in Tampa Bay. They're in St. Petersburg, and there's no fan base in St. Petersburg for them. I don't know how far away St. Petersburg is to Tampa Bay, but it's enough distance where people won't travel to see them. So, there's thoughts that if the Rays were in actual Tampa Bay, that the attendance would be much higher, but who the hell knows? Because they're not in Tampa Bay. They're in St. Petersburg. So figure that one out. So the Rays are looking for a new stadium. There was rumors that, the Rays were going to move, but now I'm hearing that they're not looking to move. They're just looking for a new stadium. There's some expansion sites that have been listed. If as soon as these deals are getting done, it would be Nashville, Charlotte, Montreal. There was somebody else too. I don't remember who it was. It doesn't really matter anyway. Hit the comments here real quick. Adam Glenn says, "Does Vegas want the A's?" I assume they do. So here's the thing about the A's, Adam. I've mentioned this before. the A's are not a terrible franchise. They're not a franchise. Right now they have, I think, 19 wins this season. Like they're like 19 and like 50 something, like 19 and 52 or 19 and 58 or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but they have 19 wins and a lot of losses. That's not typical for the Oakland Athletics. Now, if you look at their history, last 15, 20 years, they've been in and out of the playoffs. They've been in the playoffs. With payroll that they've had, they've done it. The Moneyball thing. I guess playing it by the numbers and doing stuff like that, playing small ball, and so they're not a terrible franchise. They're not a perennial losing franchise, but these past couple seasons, it's really and it's all because of the stadium. It's all they knew they weren't going to get from what they wanted from the city of Oakland, or they felt like they're not going to make as much money from the city of Oakland that they will from another place, Las Vegas. It's all about the money. It's all about the green. And so that's why it looks like they're up and running. They want to make more money. They don't want to really spend the money, which if I'm Las Vegas, I'm saying these are the parameters that, if we're going to build you this stadium, this is what we want. We want you to spend, payroll-wise, because their payroll this year is like $58 million, which is the lowest in the league. We want your payroll to be between, $80 and $150 million year in and year out. So something like that. Like set parameters. If you fall below that, then you're in breach of your contract, and rent goes up in the stadium or something else. Charge them more money some other way to make it sting a little bit more. That's the only thing they can do to make these guys spend money. And they have the money. That's the thing. If you're an owner in one of these leagues, you have the money. That's to say you can't afford it is bullshit. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be doing it. If you can't afford to pay $100 million for a team that people are going to want to come out and see, then you shouldn't be an owner. You shouldn't be. That's just their attendance this year is averaging in the 9,000s, and the average league attendance, I believe I read, was like 23,000, 27,000, something like that. So they're a third of the average attendance. A third. It's terrible. That's it's like I said a bunch of times. They major league the movie Major League. They major league. They Rachel. What the hell is her last name in that movie? That doesn't matter. I don't know. It was Rachel something. I don't know. Eileen says, I would think that they would want separate for areas for A's and Raiders. They can both be home same time. Yeah, so if the A's do happen to move to Las Vegas, they will be up the road a little bit or down the road, depending on how you want to say it, from the Raiders. Still fairly close, but still separate where it's not insane. Just like I guess kind of like in Philly, where I think the you have the Link and Citizens Bank Ballpark, pretty close to each other, just like where you used to have Veterans Stadium and what the hell was the hockey? The Spectrum. All those were fairly close, but still far enough away where if they were home at the same time, it wasn't too crazy to get out. And there's still traffic, but it wasn't insane. All right, so we'll move on from that to the stadium bill passed by the Nevada legislator. So let me read this here. I wrote down some stuff. Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo, who's not related to the Mr. Lombardo from that movie Wild Things, who was a bit of a shyster. If you ever see the movie Wild Things, look it up. Anyway, if you're a dude, you'll thank me later. Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo signs A's stadium bill. So legislator passed it, providing $380 million in taxpayer money for proposed $1.5 billion 30,000 seat ballpark with a retractable roof that should be completed by 2028. So, I think their lease is up in Oakland in 2025, and there's plans that there's a chance that they'll play at the Las Vegas Aviators, the 3A team of the Oakland A's, AAA team of the Oakland A's. They'll play at their minor league stadium, which holds 10,000 people, which, if the A's fans that are going to the A's games went to the Las Vegas Aviators games, there'd still be seats available. That's how bad it is. So everything's getting passed. So the next step is the league has to vote on it and approve it. And I think it's like a month-long process, I read. I imagine it would get approved. I don't see why it wouldn't. So it's all moving forward, and it's almost to the point of no return now. As soon as they start digging holes, that's pretty much it. So it's gonna be interesting. I know one of the things that according to the mayor of Oakland said that the Oakland Athletics wanted a brand new state-of-the-art stadium. They also wanted shopping centers. They wanted housing units. They wanted, a bunch of different types of things to go along with that stadium, and that they were kind of like compromising, or they were working on, or trying to figure out that Major League Baseball says that they weren't figuring out. But like I said, the city of Oakland said they were figuring it out. So it depends on who you believe. Our boy, the mayor of Las Vegas, says, "Let's go A's." I'm going to do a sponsor read here real quick. Monkey Cold Coffee. You see, I have the tumbler mug here. Check them out at monkeycoldcoffee.com. They have two types of coffee, two flavors of coffee right now. The bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee, which is their OG. Fantastic coffee. The toasted coconut rum is their new coffee. Even better, in my opinion. I've said this. I screamed this from the mountaintops of Tennessee to the valleys of Pennsylvania here. I dig the toasted coconut rum. They also have some swag on there, T-shirts and stuff like that. They have coffee mugs. You've seen the tumbler that I have. That's fantastic. The cold brew pitcher, which I also have, and a K-cup adapter. So if you're going to order something off of monkeycoldcoffee.com, order it at checkout. Use the promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off. Again, at checkout, type in the promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off. And also, with every bag purchased of coffee, Monkey Cold Coffee owner will donate 10% of the proceeds towards pediatric cancer research. So if you're not into coffee and you want to help some kids out, buy coffee as a gift. Buy coffee as a present for somebody that or as a Christmas present, or what the hell, you got Father's Day tomorrow, maybe a late Father's Day gift, or you're going to a 4th of July picnic, buy a bag for that for wherever you're going for a 4th of July picnic. Say, here you go, here's some Monkey Cold Coffee, and there's a chance that you helped find a cure for pediatric cancer. So help the kids out and get yourself some coffee. monkeycoldcoffee.com. All right. Let me get this. Hey, it's me again. I got another comment here. Eileen, she's saying, I'm waiting for whatever that ticking noise is to go boom. And I'll tell you, I didn't know if you could hear it, but it's actually a fan. So I have a fan running, a ceiling fan, and I'm not 100% sure what the ticking is. It's hitting something. I think the string for the fan, which I don't use. There's a switch in the wall which I can adjust the speed to. So I'm not 100% sure why there's a string on it, but I feel like the metal string is like tapping the glass for the light bulb, like the glass housing for the light bulb. I think that's what it is, but yeah. No, Eileen, you're insane. There is no ticking. You're the only one that hears it. It's so funny. Like, I'm listening to it, And as I'm talking here, I'm like, I wonder if anybody else can hear that. I never, because like whenever I do a show, it's always on because it gets a little bit warm in this room. And and I was just curious if anybody actually heard that, but I'm like, I wasn't going to bring it up. That wouldn't shock a lot of people. No, Eileen, you're awesome, Eileen. You helped me out so many times with stuff that I'm like, I forget what his name is, and you're like, there it is. Like, thank you, Eileen, for saving me once again. So yeah, we got another read here. I'm at the end of the show. Not a whole lot of topics going, but so I'm going to do my sponsorship reads here. So we next have our boy Jay Fine Law. Jason Fine, Jay Fine Law, attorney Big Al. You can contact him at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. They specialize in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, workman comp, personal injury claims. So you can call Jason 24/7 directly at 267-962-4895 or our boy Maiko Spencer at 267-303-7324 for a free consultation. They now have 3 offices and locations throughout Pennsylvania and the Garden State of New Jersey. The New Jersey location is at Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 3 Greensward Lane, Cherry Hill. The number there is 856-209-5258. They also have an office now in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Steel Town, 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900 in Pittsburgh. The telephone number there is 412-365-8151. So get the rotary telephone out and dial that one up. Or if you're on the other side of the state, hit up the office in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120 in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The number there is 267-888-2980. That's Jay Fine Law, attorney Big Al, and tell him the Bat Fry from the Vegas sports scene sent you. I'm serious. Tell them that somebody from Out of the Box Sports sent you. You get a little bit of a discount there. I'm not just shooting, blowing smoke up your skirt here. I'm telling you that this stuff is important. Another comment here. Adam Glenn says the wrestling show is awesome. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that very much. I was extremely nervous. Myself and Cowboy Dave put a lot of work into that, as well as Maiko Spencer put a lot more work into that. We were extremely nervous yesterday going into that. We didn't know how it was going to go. We never worked with each other before. We didn't know how we would flow, and I thought it came out pretty well. I thought we did a great job. Went a long time. As first episodes, there was a lot to go over, but it was over 2 hours long. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it didn't feel like 2 hours and 15 minutes, but we had a lot of fun with it. Eileen says, I loved last night's show. Thank you, Eileen. I appreciate it very, very much. I know you and Adam are huge wrestling fans, so that's one of the reasons actually why that I brought that up to Maiko about doing a wrestling show, because I know there is some of our fans, some of our hardcore fans like Eileen and Adam that were looking for a wrestling show. And, why not? I do enjoy wrestling. I'm in and out of wrestling, depending on what's going on in life. And, I'm back into wrestling. I really dig in wrestling right now. I like the product right now in WWE anyway. And, why not share it with you guys? We all talk like we're sitting in a room together here. So it's fantastic. The comments that you guys bring out, really, really, really help the show. You guys are the show. You guys that comment and are watching, you guys are the show. Eileen says you both balance each other out and have good energy, which is awesome. Thank you. I gave Dave an 8-ball last night there, and he was good to go. No, I didn't give him an 8-ball. That's a joke, in case anybody was wondering. So I'm going to go over our show times here, our schedule. So the next time I'm on is Wednesday, the Bat Cave, where I will cry and bitch and moan about the New York Mets. So look forward to that one. I wasn't on this past Wednesday because I was in Tennessee, loving Tennessee. Absolutely, dug it every second of it. I was there. So here's our schedule. Mondays at 4 p.m. with the Joystick Junkies. 6 p.m. the Sully Squad. 8:30 p.m. the Big Blue Power Hour, bringing your New York Giants football. Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. Extra Innings, talking all Major League Baseball. Wednesdays, 10 a.m. with me, the Batcave, talking New York Mets baseball and whatever happens with LA Kings hockey. 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, you have College Football Frenzy returning at the end of July, so stay tuned for that. 9:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, the Dem 215 boys talking Dallas Cowboy football. Thursdays, 8 p.m., Big Mike's 4 for 4 Locker Room Podcast talking all Philly sports. Fridays, 10:30 p.m., the newest show around the block here, the Atomic Drop, talking WWE wrestling, old school and current products. And then Saturdays, you're here watching it, so you know what's on Saturdays, 10 p.m., the Vegas sports scene. And like I said, the mayor will be making his return coming up here very shortly. I believe it's 2 weeks. So you'll get to see his lovely mug out there once more. And it's me. Yay! So we got one more comment here before I jump off. I'm gonna go hit it was a long day at the softball field, like I said. It wasn't a great day. But tomorrow's bracket play, and that's where the trophies are won. That's where the championships are won, and that's where we're gonna put boots to asses tomorrow. The mayor of Las Vegas, Rob Hefner, great show last night. Ken and Dave Yarnell. I'd love to join a show some. Absolutely, there's plenty of room on the screen for a few more people. Anytime you want to join, you let us know. We'll get you in there, buddy. Maiko Spencer says, wow, something for everyone. Absolutely. And there's more to come, guys. We were talking about doing an entertainment show where we talk about movies or TV shows or whatever. So that's something that we're trying to hash out and figure out here. Also, Washington Commanders or whatever the hell their name's going to be in the future. There's a show coming up during the football season for that. We're going to have pregame and postgame shows for the Eagles, for Notre Dame football, much more NFC East roundtable. So we have a bunch of other things in the work that are in its infancy stage. So lots of stuff going on, lots of great things happening here at Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. Like I said, like Maiko said, something for everyone. That's what we want. We want everybody to be interested in it. Something different, something new, something out of the box, something that's not really being done. And if it is being done, just a little bit differently done. That's all, a little bit goofier. This is me, 100%. This is me. This is who I am. This is something that myself, Maiko, and Cowboy Dave talked about last night off air. My first show I did was on the Vegas sports scene with Maiko, Paul Spencer, and it's probably about a year ago now. The first time I was on, if you go back there and find episode 1, I sat there, super quiet, talking like this. I believe the Raiders are going to do well. I think they'll probably make the playoffs, maybe finish second place. I think the Chargers are going to be the team to beat. Sipping on a beer. That's not who I am. This is who I am. It's Jabberjaw talking nonsense and making goofy comments. That's me. So Maiko says Notre Dame, Irish, and Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles. Yeah, so pregame, postgame for all those teams. Won't be able to do the Raiders with sports that I have and work and stuff like that. Raiders being West Coast is just it's too difficult. So maybe I'll be able to do it once in a while, but we'll have to wait and see. It's not going to be an everyday thing or an every week thing, I should say, unless Vegas Rob takes the reins with that one. Rob says, hell yeah, love Out of the Box Sports, love being part of the family. And, that's, we're a lot like Fast and Furious. It's about family. Or I can't do Vin Diesel's voice, whatever. I don't know. Family. No. Family. No, that ain't. Well, you know what I mean. You know how Vin Diesel's voice goes. You know how it goes. Out of the Box is a group of guys just being themselves, nothing fake. We are different. Yeah, we're a bunch of different dudes. That's exactly how you put it. Dudes and ladies. I can't forget about Stacy. So, all right. So that's all I got for this week. My apologies. It was a little bit of a short show. We got 1 hour now on the ticker. Usually I go an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And last night, like I said, 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, but yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Thanks for checking the show out. Thank you so much for commenting. I had a feeling I was going to struggle through the show, and I didn't, because of the comments, because of the, stuff brought up that kind of broke things up for me a little bit. It makes things go a lot easier. And Maiko comes in with the final comment of the night saying, well, Stacy is a different breed. I don't think Stacy's watching. I think she's at a country concert or something like that. But some of you might have to screenshot that and send it to her. I don't know. But thank you very much. And I'll see everybody Wednesday on the Bat Cave. So make sure you come and check that out and listen to me, cry about the Mets and, how our season's in the trash can. So I'll see everybody on Wednesday. If you're not going to check me out Wednesday, I'm on Friday at 10:30 p.m. and then next Saturday again. So I'll see you there. Lots of Kenny to go around. Thank you for checking it out. Peace.